Hello everyone, this is Teacher Joe, and we meet again. In this lesson we'll continue to study calculation tricks and shortcuts. This isn't the first day we've studied this. We looked into it back in first grade. What did we study? At that time we really just studied one main idea, called making a whole number. What does that mean? It means that during our calculations, if we encounter friend numbers like 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6, or 5 and 5, we should immediately think about whether we can group them together and calculate them first. Because calculating them first will give us numbers like 10, 20, or 30. Once these numbers appear, the whole problem becomes much easier to solve. This is a pattern and experience we've summarized before. So now that we're in second grade, let's see what new calculation tricks and shortcuts there are. But first things first, let's practice what we learned last semester. We don't want all that hard work to go to waste. That's not okay. You can press pause now and try these problems on your own first. Let's see if you still remember, and if you can skillfully apply this concept of making a whole number. Okay, so you all do them on your own. You have to do them, then come back after the pause. At this point, you should all be finished, okay? No slacking off. You have to practice calculation on your own. Practice makes perfect, and hard work pays off, okay? So let's take a look at this whole page and see if you all know how to do it. 17 minus 9 minus 7. You can't subtract 9 first. If you do, you lose. Subtract 7 first to make 10. 10 minus 9 is 1. 12 minus 7 minus 2. You can't subtract 7 first. You have to subtract 2 first. Subtracting 2 first makes 10. Then minus 7 is 3, right? You have to make the 10 first. You need to be very sensitive to these numbers. Then the second row involves a parenthesis issue. 14 minus 4 minus 6. You can do this in order. That's fine. 14 minus 4 is 10. 10 minus 6 is 4. That's okay. No problem. But if you then calculate 15 minus 2 minus 8, it becomes 15 minus 2 is 13. Then 13 minus 8 requires regrouping. Of course you get 5. If you're skilled, that's okay too. But we are striving to be higher, faster, and stronger. So we've said before, for a problem like this, you see that 4 and 6 are friend numbers, but the signs in between are all minus. What do? We said at the time that this series of subtractions can be changed into the form of 14 minus the quantity 4 plus 6. How do we understand this? We explained it before using the definition of subtraction. I have 14 apples. I first take away 4, then I take away 6. This is the same as me having 14 apples, and I take away 4 plus 6 apples all at once. No problem, right? Taking away 4 first, then taking away 6, is the same thing as taking away 4 plus 6 all at once. So we need to be able to skillfully use this idea. 14 minus 4 minus 6 is the same as 14 minus the sum of 4 plus 6, subtracting it all at once. So in this kind of series of subtractions, you notice that 4 and 6 can make a multiple of 10, right? This thing is 10. Why did I erase it? If this thing is 10, then we can directly imagine it as 14 minus 10, which is 4 directly. This is faster and more accurate, okay? So by the same logic, for 15 minus 2 minus 8, don't even ask. 2 and 8 are friend numbers, good buddies. Together in a series of subtractions, it's the same as 15 minus 10 all at once. How easy is that? It's 5 directly, no problem. Then the third row, we said at the time that if you have multiple numbers being added in a series, you should also prioritize looking for friend numbers. 4 and 6, these are good buddies. 2 and 8, don't even ask, good buddies. I'll draw a line on them. 2 and 8, don't even ask. They're also good buddies. So you see, this problem is like a 10 on top, a 10 on the bottom, and another 10 at the end. That's 10 plus 10 plus 10, which is 30 directly. This is definitely the fastest way. Moving on. 4 plus 7 plus 13. There's not much to group with the 4 and 13, but we should recognize the 3 and 7. This means adding them together makes, not 10, but 20. Why does it have to be 10? Can't it be 20? And 20 plus 13 plus 4 is 37. No, 20 plus 13 is 33, plus 4 is 37. My mistake. Let's redo that. 13 plus 7 is 20. 20 plus 4 is 24. See, that's fast too, right? So making a multiple of 10 doesn't have to be just 10. It can be 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, anything works. So for the last row, let's do it together and review, shall we? It's a mix of addition and subtraction. Even with mixed operations, you should still have the mindset of looking for friend numbers. 12 minus 6 plus 18 minus 4. Don't even ask. 2 and 8 are friend numbers. Adding these two together gives you 30 directly, right? 2 plus 8 is 10. Then you carry over a 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus the carried 1 is 3. No, 1 plus 1 is 2, plus the carried 1. Let's do it simply. 12 plus 18 is 30. That's clearly easier to calculate. Then this minus 4 and minus 6, let's group them together too. I can subtract 10 all at once. So this problem becomes 30 minus 10, which is 20 directly. This is faster, right? The last one, 13 minus 2 plus 7 minus 8. We should add 7 first. This makes 20. Then you have minus 2 and minus 8. Two subtractions in a row. Let's subtract their sum, which is 10. 20 minus 10 equals 10. See, very satisfying, right? So this making a whole number concept is very important. It's the most important thing in our calculation tricks. Okay, so we need to be very skilled at it. Whenever you encounter 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6, 5 and 5, or if they are the last digits of some numbers, we can group them like this. So now that we're in second grade, you might ask, teacher, what are the calculation tricks for second grade? Actually, they are more or less the same. It's just that the numbers have gotten a little bigger. The principle is largely the same. For example, let's look at the first group. 37 plus 5 plus 45. If you do this the normal way, 37 plus 5 equals 42. Then plus 45 is 87. For some of us, when we're first dealing with these kinds of problems, the carrying and regrouping can sometimes be easy to mess up, right? So we might as well just group the last two. Why? There's a 5 here, and there's a 5 here, right? As long as you see 5 and 5, they are friend numbers. It doesn't matter what 5 and what 5 it is, because they will definitely make a multiple of 10. It's just a matter of which multiple of 10. Look, isn't 5 plus 45 just 50? Then you take 50 and add 37. That 87 feels much more solid to calculate, doesn't it? This is what we call higher, faster, stronger. No problem. The Olympic spirit. Higher, faster, stronger. So the core of calculation tricks is to be extremely sensitive to 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6, 5 and 5. For example, let's do another one. 23 plus 15 plus 37. The numbers got bigger, but you still need to be sensitive enough to these friend numbers. You have a 3 here, and then you have a 7 at the end there. Don't even think about it. These two definitely get added together first. So how do we add them? 3 plus 7 is 10, 2 plus 3 is 5, plus the carried 1 is 6. So you get 60. When it's these kinds of multiples of 10, you can just remember to carry the 1. 3 plus 7 means carry a 1. So you only need to look at the 10's digits in front, a 2 and a 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. Don't forget to carry the 1. 2 plus 3 is 5, plus the carried 1 is 60. Right, once you get used to doing this, if you calculate these friend numbers every day, you'll get used to it, and this 60 will come faster and faster, and you won't make mistakes. So this problem is the same as 60 plus 15, which is 75. See how solid that 75 feels to calculate. Right, fast and accurate. So this making a multiple of 10 is a little pattern here too. It's because you've done it a lot. 3 and 7 make a 10, so you have to carry a 1. Right, you do 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 1 is 6. The more you do it, the faster you get. Alright, I'll give you another 2 seconds to take it in. Then it's your turn to practice. Okay? This is something where practice makes perfect, and hard work pays off. You have to practice it yourself. You can't just watch me do it and not be able to do it yourself. Press pause and write them down quickly, okay? Press pause and write. So when you come back from the pause, let's see who was fast and accurate and how long it took. You look at 65 plus 24 plus 6. Don't even ask. The 4 and 6 are good friends. 24 plus 6, that's 30. What's the situation? No, that's not 36. That is 30. 65 plus 30, that's 95 directly. See how solid that feels? Okay, let's continue. The speed is getting faster and faster. 58 plus 16 plus 4. 4 and 6 are good friends. 16 plus 4 is 20. 58 plus 20 is 78. 47 plus 6 plus 23. 7 and 3 are good friends. 4 plus 2 is 6, plus the carried 1 makes 70. Because you have to carry a 1, right? Once you're used to carrying the 1, you'll be fast. Because when you calculate numbers like this that add up to a multiple of 10, 3 plus 7 will definitely require you to carry a 1. So you can directly calculate the 10's digits. 2 plus 4 is 6. Carry the 1 to get 7, right? So that's the same as 70 plus 6, which is 76, right? This is faster. Okay, 19 plus 9 plus 61. For this problem, both combinations work. 19 and 61 can be grouped, and 9 and 61 can be grouped. Which one should we choose? Definitely group 9 and 61, right? Because 9 plus 61, that's 70. This is less likely to cause a mistake. Then 70 plus 19 is 89. 38 plus 46 plus 2. Here we go. 2 and 8, good buddies. 38 plus 2 is 40. 40 plus 46 is 86. 34 plus 18 plus 46. 80 plus 18 is 98. So for this type of series of additions, even if the numbers get bigger, you just have to remember these friend numbers by their last digits, okay? Remember the last digits. Then in the future when you do problems, you should always prioritize making these multiples of 10, okay? It's still those same words. Make a multiple of 10. If you remember to make a multiple of 10, you've understood how to play this calculation trick game, okay? You've mastered it. And by the same logic, it's the same for adding 3 numbers, 4 numbers, 5 numbers, or even 10,000 numbers. At most, it just gets more tedious, right? The principle is the same. Look at these 4 numbers being added. 32 plus 25 plus 8 plus 5. It's the same, right? 2 and 8 are good friends. Group them together. 32 plus 8 is 40. 5 and 5 are good friends. Group them together. 25 plus 5 is 30. Directly a 70. 30 plus 40, right? The principle is always the same. Next, 53 plus 14 plus 7 plus 6. 3 and 7 are good buddies, making 60, right? 53 plus 7 is 60. 14 plus 6, 4 and 6 are good buddies. That makes 20. 60 plus 20 is 80. Okay, so even 4 numbers can't stump us. The principle is the same. Make a multiple of 10. So don't be idle. Press pause. Hurry up, it's your turn. Okay, press pause. Hurry up, it's your turn. Now when you come back from the pause, you must have written them down yourself. Only by constantly doing it yourself can you truly achieve proficiency through practice and strength through hard work. Don't just watch me do it. If you only watch me do it, when it's your turn, you probably won't be able to see the patterns. 7 plus 24 plus 33 plus 16. Don't even ask. 3 and 7 are good friends. 7 plus 33 is 40. And then, 4 and 6 are good friends. 24 plus 16. For this kind of carrying over, we've said it before. 2 plus 1 is 3. Carry the 1, makes 4. So that's 40. Right, you just need to focus on the tens digits. 40 plus 40 is 80. Don't say 80. My mistake. Yes, it's 80. Next, 28 plus 47 plus 2 plus 3. 2 and 8 are good buddies. This is 30 directly. 3 and 7 are good buddies. 47 plus 3 is 50. So don't even ask. 30 plus 50 is 80. Quickly. 16 plus 35 plus 21 plus 5 plus 19. The good friends 1 and 9. We look at the tens digits. 2 plus 1 is 3. Plus the carried 1 makes 40. Then the good friends 5 and 5. That's another 40. So that's 80. What a coincidence, right? Is the fourth one also 80? Let's take a look. 34 plus 19 plus 16 plus 11. The good friends 4 and 6. 3 plus 1 is 4. Plus the carried 1 makes 50. The good friends 9 and 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Plus the carried 1 makes 30. 50 plus 30. Is it 80 again? I guess this whole page is 80. Don't just guess. We have to calculate. 16 plus 27 plus 14 plus 13. The good friends 4 and 6. 1 plus 1 is 2. Plus the carried 1 is 30. The good friends 7 and 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. Plus the carried 1 is 40. 30 plus 40 is 70. Did I write that wrong? Let's check. No mistake. No mistake. It is 70. The last one. Come on. 3 and 7 are good buddies. 4 and 6 are good buddies. 3 and 7 are good buddies. 1 plus 2 is 3. Plus the carried 1 is 40. 1 and 1 is 2. Plus the carried 1 is 30. This is also 70, right? All done with that, okay. This is simple and clear, right? So the next group is more or less the same. Does this look familiar? This is called a series of subtractions, right? For these kinds of problems with a series of subtractions, we can transform it into subtracting their sum all at once. So 23 plus 37. If you don't understand this principle, we talked about it at the beginning of this lesson, and we also talked about it in the last lesson of first grade on calculation tricks, part 2. So if you still don't understand this principle, go and listen to those 2 lessons. We won't repeat it here. We won't repeat it. So should we combine this 23 and 37? You have to see if there are any friend numbers. If there aren't, we calculate from left to right. If there are friend numbers, then they've run right into our trap, haven't they? They're out of luck running into us. We're invincible at solving this kind of problem, right? It's obvious here that the 3 and the 7 are good friends, right? So we add 23 and 37 together first, and then subtract the total, right? For that you only need to look at the tens digits. 2 plus 3 is 5, plus the carried 1 makes 60. So you're just subtracting 60. So this problem becomes 82 minus 60, which is 22. And that's it. This is so much better than you doing 82 minus 23 first. For that you'd have to borrow for 2 minus 3 to get 9. Then you'd have 7 minus 2 is 5, so 59. Then 59 minus 37 is 22. You see, that's just too much work, isn't it? Always take the path of least resistance. Why work harder when you can work smarter, right? You should always find the easiest way. Okay, come on, the second one. You all will definitely get this one. You look at it, 78 minus 29 minus 31. The 1 and 9. You have to be sensitive to this, right? You have to be proficient. It should be like a reflex, just like how we see a lemon and our mouth immediately starts to water. You have to catch it right away. This thing is, you have to turn it into what's called a subconscious reaction. When you can do that, you've truly mastered these calculation tricks. Add these two numbers together. Just look at the tens digits. 2 plus 3 is 5, plus the carried 1. So these two together make 60. So that's the same as 78 minus 60. 78 minus 60 is 18 directly. No regrouping, no borrowing, they're the same thing. No regrouping. This is directly the fastest way. Okay, so for this kind of series of subtractions, if the two numbers being subtracted are friend numbers, we can subtract their sum all at once. That's the meaning. Does everyone understand? Okay, if you understand, it's your turn. Practice well. I want you to practice this page. It can't take more than 1 minute. Absolutely no more than 1 minute. Press pause and write quickly. No more than 1 minute. Time yourself. Okay, so when you come back from the pause, let's see if you were fast and accurate. We're looking to see who was both correct and fast, right? Who was correct and fast? 70 minus 24 minus 16. 4 and 6 are good buddies. 24 plus 16 is 40. It's the same as 70 minus 40, which is 30, right? Just look at the tens digits. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus the carried 1 is 4, so 40. We'll get faster and faster at this in the future. Okay, faster and faster. 87 minus 12 minus 38. 2 and 8 are good buddies in a series of subtractions. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus the carried 1 is 50, right? 87 minus 50 is 37. 95 minus 21 minus 19. 1 and 9 are good buddies. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus the carried 1 makes 40. It's the same as subtracting 40. 95 minus 40 is 55. 79 minus 17 minus 33. 3 and 7 are good buddies. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus the carried 1 is 50. 79 minus 50 is 29. 65 minus 17 minus 13. 3 and 7 are good buddies. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus the carried 1 makes 30. 65 minus 30 is 35. 83 minus 34 minus 16. 4 and 6 are good buddies again. 3 plus 1 is 4, plus the carried 1 makes 50, right? 83 minus 50 is 33. Is that right? No problem. Did you get them all right? Okay. After you've finished on your own, you can give it a quick scan, check it over for any mistakes. It would be a huge waste to get them wrong. Okay, so that's it for that part. Let's look at the next set. What is it? Mixed addition and subtraction. The logic is the same, right? Do you still remember how to handle mixed addition and subtraction from first grade? Right. How do you group them? The friend numbers you can group in addition, and the ones you can group in a series of subtractions, you should group them. Making a multiple of 10 makes it easier to solve. So a set of numbers like this can't stump us. You know, it can't stump us. How do we say it? 64 minus 21 plus 16 minus 39. You see it. The 4 and 6 are good friends, and both are being added. The 1 and 9 are good friends, and both are being subtracted. You can group them perfectly. That means 64 plus 16, and then subtract the sum of 21 and 39 all at once. And you're done, right? So this can be grouped too. So 64 plus 16, 6 plus 1 is 7, plus the carried 1 is 80. What's the situation? This is 80. So for the minus 21 and minus 39, let me write it out. That's the same as subtracting the sum of 21 plus 39. I don't want to hear anyone say they don't understand this anymore. We've made it very clear. So just add this 21 and 39 together and subtract it all at once. For this 2 plus 3, just looking at the tens digits, is 5, plus the carried 1 is 60, right? So it's 80 minus 60, which is 20. So this problem is solved. If you were to calculate it one by one from left to right, 64 minus 21 is 43, then plus 16, and so on. If you calculate like that, then well, it's too much trouble. Too much trouble, not necessary. Okay, let's do another one. The second one, 52 minus 17 plus 28 minus 33. You see it. The 2 and 8. Be sensitive. Be sensitive. Spot it in a single glance. Okay, 52 plus 28. 5 plus 2 is 7, plus the carried 1 is 80, minus 17 and minus 33. Well, what do you know? 7 and 3 are good friends. It's a series of subtractions again. Subtract their sum all at once. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus the carried 1 is 50. 80 minus 50 is 30, right? This is how it's done. Okay, so it's your turn. You understand all the principles. It's your turn to practice. Press pause. Write down these 6 problems quickly. 1 minute, okay? Don't take more than 1 minute. Actually, the fast ones can finish in half a minute. Come on. Let's pretend you've unpaused. You're back. Let's see if everyone was fast and accurate. I won't read the problems. You should all be finished. The first one. You see 3 and 7 are good buddies. Let's go. 6 plus 1 is 7. Plus the carried one is 80. 1 and 9 are good buddies. Let's go. 1 plus 1 is 2. Plus the carried one is 30. 80 minus 30 is 50. Watch the signs. Don't get them wrong. The second one. 4 and 6 are good buddies. 2 are additions. 2 are subtractions. Perfect. 33 plus 57 is 90. 24 plus 16 is 40. 90 minus 40 is 50. Watch the signs. Don't get them wrong. The second one. 3 and 7 are good buddies. Okay. The third one. The 40 and 30. No need to say more. Just put them together to get 70. Actually, it doesn't matter if you don't combine them. The main thing is this. Minus 22 and minus 18. 2 and 8 are good buddies, right? So for that you do 2 plus 1 is 3. Plus the carried one is 40. 70 minus 40 is 30. For the next one, 3 and 7 are good buddies. 8 plus 1 is 9. Plus the carried one makes exactly 100. Okay. Then 2 and 8 are good buddies. 3 plus 1 is 4. Plus the carried one makes 50. 100 minus 50 is another 50. The fifth one. 5 and 5 are good buddies. 5 plus 1 is 6. Plus the carried one is 70. 1 and 9 are good buddies. 2 plus 1 is 3. Plus the carried one is 40. 70 minus 40 is 30. The last one. 1 and 9 are good buddies. 3 and 7 are good buddies. The 1 and 9 pair are being added. 21 plus 59. 2 plus 5 is 7. Plus the carried one is 80. The 3 and 7 pair are being subtracted. 13 plus 47. 1 plus 4 is 5. Plus the carried one is 60. Right. 80 minus 60 is 20. Okay. See if everyone got them right. The whole thinking process. When you see these friend numbers, they don't have to be just 1 and 9 or 4 and 6. It could be something 9 and something 1. Those also count as friend numbers. Understand? The main goal is to make a multiple of 10. Got it? The core idea is these few words. Once you have this logic, these kinds of problems can never stump us again. Actually, in the future when we get to 3rd grade, and we calculate even bigger numbers, in the hundreds and thousands, all the logic is exactly the same. Okay, so next, let's look at another special situation. For example, when we're doing calculations, we might also encounter this situation. 9 plus 19 plus 29. It's obvious that there are no friend numbers here, right? You might say, 1 and 9 are friend numbers. Don't be silly. Can you add a 10's digit with a 1's digit like that? Right. No matter how you group these three numbers, you can't make a friend number pair. So how do we solve this problem? We have a way for this problem too. How do we do it? Take a look. Take a look. If we calculate normally, look, 9 plus 19 requires carrying over, right? It's 28. Then you take 28 and add 29. 8 plus 9 is 17. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus the carried one is 5. So 57. You have to carry over, right? It takes a long time. So let's erase that for now. It's clearly not that easy to calculate. So if it's not easy, how can we do it? Remember, if in the future we encounter numbers like 9, 8, 19, 18, and so on, we use the same idea of transformation and reduction. Adding 9 plus 9 requires carrying over. If I can turn them into multiples of 10, won't it be easier to calculate? The idea of transformation and reduction. All calculation problems become easier if they can be turned into multiples of 10. So how do we change this? It's easy to change. For example, what is this 9? Isn't 9 just the same as 10 minus 1? Right, 10 minus 1. This turns it into a multiple of 10. And what is 19? Isn't 19 just 20 minus 1? That's right. And what is 29? I think you all understand now. Isn't 29 just 30 minus 1? You see, with this transformation, it's like a transformer. So let's add these multiples of 10 together first. Everyone can do this. 10 plus 20 is 30. 30 plus 30 is 60, right? Then let's add up the small leftover parts. You see, we subtracted a 1 here, another 1 here, and another 1 here, right? That's the same as subtracting a 3 in total, isn't it? You subtracted 3 ones, so that's just subtracting a 3. So we can spot this right away. This is 60 minus 3, which is 57. Do you see? Obviously, calculating this way is much faster, isn't it? Much faster. Compared to you doing 9 plus 9 and carrying over, and then 8 plus 9 and carrying over again to get 57. That process is quite a bit of work. So for a problem like this, where we see all the numbers end in 9, I can change them to a multiple of 10 minus 1. Then I add the multiples of 10 together, count how many ones I need to subtract, and the game is over. Do you understand the logic? All problems like this can be solved this way. For example, numbers ending in 8 also work. They also work. What is 8? 8 is the same as 10 minus 2. 18 is the same as 20 minus 2. 28 is the same as 30 minus 2. 38 is the same as 40 minus 2. By the same logic, let's add up the multiples of 10 first. 10 plus 20 is 30. 30 plus 30 is 60. 60 plus 40 is 100. So that's 100 minus a few 2's. How many 2's did we subtract? 1, 2, 3, 4. We subtracted 4 2's. So that's subtracting 8. The answer is 92 directly. Right. It's perfect. Let's move this down a little bit and get the notes right. It's the same as adding all the multiples of 10 together first, and then subtracting all these 2's at once. Right. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. We subtracted 4 2's, so that's subtracting 8. 100 minus 8 is 92 directly. So when you're doing problems on your own, pay attention. Let me say it again. When you're doing problems on your own, you actually don't need to write out these steps below. Understand? The calculation can just happen in your head like that. If you write out this process at the bottom, think about it. By the time you finish writing all these steps, you could have probably finished the calculation with carrying in about the same amount of time. So since this is a calculation trick and a shortcut, for this type of problem, we don't need to write out the complete process here. Some of you might say, how do I write it? What if I can't remember? I have a method. Watch. We can just mark it like this. Above this 9, you just mark a minus 1. See, when we write, you can just mark a minus 1 here, a minus 1 here, and a minus 1 here. Then when you look at this 9, you just think of it as 10. This 19 becomes 20, and this 29 becomes 30. So 10 plus 20 plus 30 is 60. Then you see you subtracted 3 1's. Right. And you're done. Understand, if you write out the whole process at the bottom, then you lose the meaning of the shortcut, don't you? It's the same for the next one. This is a minus 2, this is a minus 2, and this is a minus 2. Right. So when you see this, it's obvious. You just subtracted 4 2's, and you're done. Do you get the logic? For example, when we're practicing, let me demonstrate again. For example, how do you do this? I'll do 2, and you do 4. Okay, let's demonstrate again. For example, this first one, you see a 9, you think minus 1. You see a 9, you think minus 1. So when we're calculating, look at the first one. This is 9. The next is 19, which is like 20, and this 49 is like 50. So in your mind, you know this is 10, this is 20, and this is 50. Right. And none of that is hard to calculate, right? You can figure it out in your head. 10 plus 20 is 30. 30 plus 50 is 80. And you subtracted 3 1's, right? 80 minus 3, that's 77. Is that the logic? Does everyone understand what I mean? It means when you're calculating, you shouldn't write so many words. If you write that much, you might as well just calculate it directly. Understand? For the second one too, you have a minus 1, right? When you're calculating on your own, right now I'm writing it out, but when you're doing it yourself, you don't even need to write 10, 20, or 50. I'm writing these numbers now so that everyone can see and understand. Let's be clear. When you're calculating yourself, you don't need to write these numbers. You just do it in your head. This is 20 plus 30 is 50, plus another 50, right? That's 100. So it's the same as 100 minus 3. A quick mental calculation gives you 97. That's what makes it fast. For calculation tricks and shortcuts, if I write out all these middle steps very clearly, then what's the point, right? If you're writing that many words, in that amount of time, you could have finished the normal calculation. Then it's not a shortcut, is it? That would actually be more trouble. There's no need, okay? No need. So let's continue. You all practice the next 4. See if you can calculate them even faster. Get proficient with this method, okay? When you come back from the pause, I won't leave any extra time while I'm explaining. But by now, you must have finished them on your own. Let's see if you've grasped this feeling. Now let's see if you all got them right, okay? Let me do it one more time, so we can get a feel for it again. 18 plus 28 plus 38. You see, this works for numbers ending in 8 too. I subtract a 2 here, a 2 here, and a 2 here. That's subtracting 6 in total. Now let's look at the multiples of 10. This is clearly 20, 30, and 40. 20 plus 30 is 50, plus 40 is 90. 90 minus 6 is 84 directly, right? If you calculate this slowly, there's no point to this method, right? 90 minus 6 is 84. The next one is also subtracting 2's. 6 in total. The first parts are 10 plus 20 is 30, plus 60 is 90. 90 minus 6 is 84. Do you see the process? And the last two have both 9's and 8's. It's the same idea. A 9 is a minus 1. An 8 is a minus 2. A 9 is a minus 1. An 8 is a minus 2. So you see, it's just adding several multiples of 10, right? For the first one, 10 plus 20 is 30, plus another 30 is 60, plus 40 is 100, right? 60 plus 40 is 100. 100, and you've subtracted 2 1's and 2 2's, so that's subtracting a 2 and a 4. You can just subtract 6 all at once. Okay, this is 100 minus 6, which is 94. No problem. Just make sure you see that. You can also see it as subtracting 2 and 4, for a total of 6. That works too. But if your reaction to this process is very slow, you might as well just calculate it directly. The point of these tricks is to practice this feeling of transformation, this feeling of reduction. Okay, the last one. 8 is minus 2, 9 is minus 1, 28 is minus 2, 39 is minus 1, 10 plus 20 is 30, 30 plus 30 is 60, plus 40 is 100. How much did we subtract? We subtracted 2 2's and 2 1's. We all know how to do this. We subtract 6. The answer is 94. Right. Writing it like this is what truly achieves the goal of a calculation shortcut. Otherwise, if you're even slower, you might as well just calculate it directly, okay? But actually, have you all noticed, the core is still the thing we talked about before, which is making a whole number, making a multiple of 10, right? Just making a multiple of 10. Before, when we encountered friend numbers, we could make a multiple of 10, right? If we encountered friend numbers, we could make a multiple of 10. So in the future, if we don't see 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6, 5 and 5, but we encounter something else. For example, 9, 19, 29, and so on. 39, 49, something like that, or 8, 18, 28, 38, and so on. When we encounter these numbers, we can also group them by turning them into 10 minus 1, 10 minus 2, 20 minus 1, 20 minus 2. Then we can calculate the minus 1 and minus 2 parts all together at the end. The rest of the problem again becomes addition and subtraction of multiples of 10. Of course, you might ask, Teacher Zhou, if I encounter a 7, can I turn it into 10 minus 3? In theory, you can. But think about it. If you change 7 into 10 minus 3, and you have to subtract 4 3's in a row, that means you have to subtract 12. Do you see what I mean? If you subtract 4 3's, that's subtracting 12. You might run into a borrowing problem again, so it's not necessarily easier to calculate. So we generally say that if we encounter numbers ending in 9 or 8, we also consider making them a multiple of 10. For things like numbers ending in 7, 6, or 5, there's no need, right? Because the number you have to subtract is too big. For example, a number ending in 6 is a multiple of 10 minus 4, right? If you have to subtract 3 4's, you're already subtracting 12. Then you're back to dealing with borrowing and regrouping issues. So there's no need. So for this lesson, let's summarize at the end. From today on, our feel for calculation tricks and shortcuts should be much deeper. First, when we encounter these friend numbers, you must be sensitive. You should be able to group them, calculate them first, and use the shortcut. Second, when you encounter these numbers ending in 9 or 8, you need to have this awareness of making a whole number. Okay, this can also help us improve our calculation speed and accuracy. But let me say it again. What if these situations don't appear? It's the same thing I said before. You can't get obsessed. All calculation tricks and shortcuts are for the ultimate goal, which is to be faster and more accurate. If these situations don't appear, then you just have to honestly practice your calculations. Because in the process of practicing calculation, the vast majority of the time, we still have to do it step by step carefully. When you need to carry, you carry. When you need to regroup, you regroup. Regrouping and borrowing are the same thing. You still have to be proficient in our fundamental calculation skills. Not every problem will have these situations. What do you do if these situations don't appear? You are not allowed to get obsessed. You are not allowed to stand there thinking for a long time. It's meaningless. Just calculate quickly. Just calculate. Because our only goal is to be fast and accurate. For this, what is most important? The fundamentals are most important. You absolutely cannot neglect the fundamentals, okay? So these last 2 lessons I've taught are to add a finishing touch to your calculation skills, to make something good even better. But if your fundamental skills are not good, and you only know the tricks for these specific situations, your calculation skills will still not be strong. Understand the logic. Go back and practice your calculations properly. So that's all for our content today. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.